I grew up in a Christian home. My father and my mother were and are up to now very much involved in various church ministries in our hometown and in different provinces in the Philippines. Seeing their devotion in serving God and the church, I also served actively in various church ministries. However, despite my ministry involvements, I viewed God merely as a ticket to heaven and to get the nice things in life. As a teenager, I deeply longed for attention. I felt like a shadow that nobody took notice of. At 15 years old, I became close to a much older girl who seemed to be very interested in me. Having someone to talk to over the phone till the wee hours of the morning, who seemed to enjoy texting with me every minute of the day, filled and fueled my desire to be wanted and valued. It did not take very long for that friendship to turn into a full on relationship, even though it broke my family's heart. In 2006, I was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of cancer that affects the immune system. So I had to stop my schooling and go through the painful process of chemotherapy. I couldn't understand why, of all the lesbian friends that I had at that time, I didn't understand why God would capriciously choose me to be the one to be punished. So I broke up with my girlfriend, no, unwillingly. But little by little, the idea of God punishing me brewed into a silent resentment in my heart. After a year, I was declared cancer free. So I resumed my church duties, graduated with honors in college, and got a scholarship to France to pursue graduate studies. Actually, I even became a testimony of God's healing and faithfulness to different churches. But in reality, to me, God remained a restrictive killjoy who would only bless me if I remained straight and if I kept my longings at bay. So the loneliness, insecurities, and desire to be loved, as well as the intensifying feelings of repression of my sexuality, coupled with the idea that God doesn't care about me or care about my personal struggles, slowly but surely led me to give in to the desires of my flesh. So I started drinking, smoking, going to lesbian bars and wild parties in strip clubs, and dating different women on several occasions. So I went back to the Philippines after my scholarship, fully embracing my identity as a lesbian. I left my broken-hearted family and lived with my new girlfriend, no, at the time. The wild lifestyle continued and worsened as the years went by. The drinking became heavier and more frequent. Smoking cigarettes turned to smoking marijuana, and the all-night parties in bars and lesbian clubs went on. My girlfriend also started becoming more and more abusive and even started cheating on me with different women until she finally left me for another woman. The life that I thought would give me happiness emptied me of everything. So I decided to go back to my family and to turn back to God, who seemed to be the only chance I had at that time to find any glimmer of hope out of my hopeless situation. I started attending Glorious Hope in 2019 with the intention of finding solace and comfort from my breakup. But I instead ended up finding healing in every aspect of my life. I realized that my journey towards self-destruction was rooted on my distorted image of God. Ultimately, I am inflicted with a heart issue of not knowing God for who He truly is. And that what I was struggling from was at its root not gender identity, but a heart problem of not finding love and value from the ultimate love giver. God, my living hope, the lover of my soul, found me. He fills me with a measure of love that is so encompassing and that is so unfathomable. It is by His overflowing love that the former pleasures of life no longer seem to measure up. In Ezekiel 36:26, God said that He will give the Israelites, the rebellious Israelites, a new heart and a new mind. And as He pours out His love to me, I just inevitably find myself walking in newness of life, renewed and restored. My name is Margaret Faith Cow, and to God be the glory.